Welcome back. The Standard podcast's Rachel Abbott caught up with ES Magazine editor Ben Cobb to discuss their new Pride issue, edited by none other than fashion legend Donatella Versace.
I am a theatre maker. I write, I direct, I perform, I run around, and I make music as well.
I'm an artist, I'm an activist, I'm a DJ, I'm a lens-based artist working in, I don't know.
Clips there of some of the London LGBTQ plus heroes featured in today's ES magazine. Ben, this is the magazine's Pride issue and has been edited by Donatella Versace. Could you explain to our listeners why this collaboration was so special?
This week's issue of the magazine is our Pride issue, which we do every year. It's a really important issue for us and such an important moment in London for us to support and give a platform to. And Donatella is such a crucial voice for the LGBTQ plus community. Throughout her whole life and career, she's tirelessly supported the queer community. She works really closely with Sir Elton John on his foundation. She's been a really important voice and power to fundraise for institutions and AIDS charities. Also, I think she has such a massive audience and platform, and she uses that to put out really strong messaging. So it made sense for her to take over this issue and curate it.
So let's go right back to the start. How did the project kick off?
This project actually started with an initial conversation with Donatella about an interview with her, an inside feature with her. And it was actually her idea, why don't I edit the issue? We jumped on that straight away. I think what I was really impressed with Donatella, obviously she's incredibly busy, traveling all the time, managing so much, part of, her business and charities and everything. So she was really disciplined in her time. So we had very clear windows when we had her and her 100% concentration and focus on the magazine. So our job really was to make sure we could deliver everything for those windows, which for us was a really great discipline.
That's cool. And what was the process from there?
So how the process worked was we would do, for instance, the backbone of the issue is a huge portfolio shoot and interviews with a big group of London's unsung queer heroes. So we did an initial round of casting. We got some people together. We all threw ideas in round a table, who we thought we should spotlight, who should be part of this. And we put together like a big list and we sent that through to Donatella, who then, in communication with us, kind of sifted through it, filtered it down to what she felt was like the perfect mix. So she was very much a kind of a curating, guiding hand on that.
Great. So tell us about the selected pieces. What can we look forward to seeing?
The portfolio is made up of some amazing groups around London. So for instance, there's Vogue Rights, which is a great kind of young, small group of Vogue dancers. They feature on one of the covers. We have 4 covers, all taken from this portfolio shoot. Inside there is the first UK non-binary barrister. We have the amazing Tadenda Shamosi, who won last year's Emerging Talent at the Evening Standard Theatre Awards. There's also Out to Swim, which is a massive queer swimming and water polo group in London, to Stav B, who's a sort of an icon of the going out nightlife in London. There's an urban legend that if, she's not at a party, then it's not worth going to. She features there. She's also a cover. And there's a young couple who are behind a new nightclub purely focused on kind of the Latin queer community. So it's a really broad mix. And together, I think they give a really kind of rich, exciting idea of the London LGBTQ community that maybe people haven't heard about before.
And looking at this week's issue, what would you say are your favourite pieces?
One of my favourite pieces is called 19 Questions for Donatella. And it's where we got an amazing group of famous friends and fans of Donatella and the Versace brand to each ask one question. So amongst them, there's Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer, Cindy Crawford, Carla Bruni. They each asked one question. And I have to say, I think Donatella's answers, that's a real glimpse into her kind of, she's very funny. She's quite self-deprecating. There's a great section where Donatella's put together some of her favourite photos of her and one of her best and oldest friends, Elton John, in some outrageous fashions. And Donatella goes through kind of, not critiquing, but she's very funny about them. Very good. Also, there's real surprises. She did our kind of oldest and most well-established page in the magazine is My London. And so Donatella did a very special My London for us. And there's some real surprises in there.
Amazing. And are there any that you can reveal?
One thing that I really liked was that she used to walk around the parks walking her dogs, who she's obsessed with. She used to walk around in disguise. So a lot of people might have walked past her or maybe even spoken to her and not known who it was.
I love that. And finally, as editor of the magazine and being a Londoner, was there anything Donatella said that highlighted your own love for London?
Yeah, I think it's always interesting when someone, it's actually what I love about My London. We have a lot of Londoners do that, but when people aren't from London, sometimes it takes someone that doesn't live here to kind of make you remember what's really special about it. And I think the way she talks throughout the whole issue about the creativity, just the kind of the energy and the spirit in London. Yeah, it's good to remember that, I think. And yeah, she does a good job of like really enforcing that.